Hi, friends.
Hi.
Good to see you all. We are prepping for the cold here in Houston, Texas.
I know. It's just going to get colder and colder, right?
It is. It is. I just wanted to wear my jacket. This is actually like a sleeveless situation, but...
Is it?
Yeah, but...
Oh, yeah, I wore my turtleneck today.
Oh, sorry. I forgot that my mic is on my actual thing. Anyway, it was a sleeveless situation. Here we go. We could do it like
It's actually warm in the studio today for once. It was freezing last week.
It is.
It feels better.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to move this because it actually is kind of warm in here. But how are you doing?
I'm good. Just happy to be here.
Yes.
Getting ready for Christmas. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. And I'm just going to put this right over here now because I thought, okay, on Friday, it was so cold in the studio.
Yeah, it's been like, we did a video and it was like 60 degrees in here.
So bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you did that on Thursday and Friday. Anyway, real bad. So I was just expecting that. But yes, the holiday season, you know, every time it's, like I know what I have to do for it. I know you get presents for your family and
it comes up so fast still.
It does, but I have to say I'm so proud of you because you've wrapped a lot of your presents.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just think I need just a couple more things.
That's awesome.
But that's it. But
yes.
I mean, I don't have kids to buy for. Like, I can't even imagine all the stuff you have to buy.
Well, Daniel and I are, and we're fortunate, you know, to be able to get our kids, you know, all these gifts and stuff. And so they're making their Santa list. I mean, it's one of the things that I just love about my childhood because my parents adopted Christmas when they came here to the United States. So they didn't have a lot of money, but they would go the day after Christmas to get all of the discount trees and all the,
cool.
you know.
Yeah.
And so they had the Christmas tree and my dad would do the whole like putting presents in the freezer, like, and would get whatever they could afford. Like I remember, do you know the grocery store Fiesta?
Yeah.
Okay. So they shopped all the time at Fiesta. It's like Indian people shop there, a lot of like Hispanic people because you get like cheaper produce, like it was the thing. And so I guess they couldn't afford gift wrap paper, but all of our gifts were wrapped in like the Fiesta paper.
Are you serious?
Yes. So it was just, it was
funny.
fun. I mean, this is like late 80s, early 90s, you know,
cute.
and it was just, so, and Daniel's family kind of the same thing, but obviously, you know, they are Catholic and there's deeper meaning to all of that.
Oh, yeah.
But so and by the way, there was meaning to my parents too because they both went to Catholic school.
Yeah.
I think I told you about that.
So Christmas wasn't like a...
So they celebrated in India, but it was like going to mass in India. And like they had, my mom went to Catholic boarding school actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so she had her sisters and like sister blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And, you know, and they would go to mass on Christmas and do all those things. But the whole gift giving is more of a...
I mean, I didn't know that.
Even gift giving, if you it's like the Three Kings Day, right? Like not to get like technical about all of it, but like we don't put our Christmas tree up until January 6th because, the Three Wise Men came with gifts. And so now it's like evolved to like everybody getting presents, right? Like that's what we're doing now. Yeah.
Did you ever, well, no, because your parents went. So I went to Catholic school. So I remember like my sister, because I didn't go to Catholic school until I was in second grade, but like the kindergartners or first graders, or I forget, but they would always act out like the whole nativity scene.
Yes.
And that was like such a big deal.
Yes.
And like whoever got to be Mary.
Yes. That was like a whole,
Yeah, it was a huge thing.
I actually went to a Catholic Montessori school when I was younger. So there's pictures
did you?
of me. Yeah, I'm not joking, guys. And I remember this. I don't even know how I remember this, but I was the butt of the damn donkey.
What?
Because I was under, so I had to like put
funny.
And my nose was running, and so I was like, the donkey was here, right? And then I had to put my hand on the butt, and then they had like a blanket over me.
Oh my gosh. That is crazy.
And I kept like wiping my nose because it was, I guess that's why it was like traumatic for me. But yes, I was picked to be the donkey.
You should have been Mary.
But so it can be a stressful time, but it's also like such a fun time. And I think you're like this too, where it's like you want people to get together, you want to do parties, and just like with your friends.
I think for some people, like with our family now that we no longer have our grandparents, like it just feels so different. And it's still like adjusting to it. So we're kind of like figuring out what the new tradition is going to be. And like this year, everybody's coming to Houston, which we've always been home for Christmas. You know, we've always been at my grandparents, but like we don't have them anymore. So it's kind of like, all right, what traditions are we taking from that?
Yes.
What traditions are we going to kind of make our own? So the last like 2 years we haven't had our grandparents. So last year we did like some really good fillets on Christmas Eve, and like that was different. That was fun. We kind of like that. Like so that might be something that like stays, but it's never going to be the same.
I know, and it's comparable to that. I've just experienced like when my parents got divorced. Yeah, that was like a, I mean, obviously like crazy thing. It happened, you know, now 15 some years ago, but still, it was like we were. I was my freshman year of college. My sister was in high school, and so these traditions, like you know, you want to keep up with them, but something like traumatic happens, and you're like, hold on, what are we supposed to do now?
Yeah, my mom's parents were musicians, so like our Christmas Eve, they'd have a huge party at their house, and there was like our immediate family, then some like even from like my dad's side of the family, like they were invited, like it was huge. Relatives, like whoever didn't have a place to go came over. Yes. Like all my aunts and cousins all played like musical instruments, so they're like on the piano, my Nana's singing, like we would go down their basement and have like club basement, like which would be like we were like playing like rap music and being crazy, and we'd play games. And so it's like, how do you ever recreate that?
Well, I will tell you, just from speaking from kind of going through an experience where you're kind of like, what do I do with these new traditions?
I mean, Santa Claus would even show up.
I know. Well, I don't know about that part, but I said I know. Like, I understand.
Crazy. Yeah.
Like the whole thing, because we had actually family would come over.
Oh, from India?
Well, no.
Oh, I thought you meant like come over to the U.S. to celebrate.
No, but they would come from India. That would have been like way more dramatic. But no, they would just, everybody would come over to our house, stay the night, and then we would all open presents in the morning, and people got stuff for each other.
Oh my gosh, our Christmas morning was, we had all my cousins, my mom's middle sister there, and then like everyone would come to our house. We did not have a big house or anything, like, I mean, it was fine, but like there would be like 50 of us family members in for this big breakfast. So we still do the breakfast, but it's just like so different.
Yeah, so what I was gonna tell you is we don't, like a lot of my family members are now very grumpy, or just, my uncle went on to have his kids and told them from the beginning that there was no Santa. Like, I know, it was just like, I know, I was like, why would you do that when growing up you didn't do that for us?
I know.
Anyway, that's all to say that now our Christmases at first were different, but it's become better than ever because everything that I remember is all positive.
Oh, good.
From those experiences, like with your grandparents, right? So it's like these new things, like Connor's in the picture now, and you know, his family and stuff. So it's different, but then it becomes in a good way because you also have the foundation of all those.
Yeah, totally.
You know, great past
even like
memories.
the food that we made, like when we would do it at my grandparents, like was so interesting and unique. Like just all these little things, like it was so fun. But you know, that's what happens. Times change, and you just kind of have to like.
But you're gonna keep on continuing with that tradition because I feel bad for like my cousins who never had any of that stuff, right? Or people that don't have those fun memories.
Totally.
You know, so anyway, all of that to say, and it's almost time for break, but we're going to talk about this. Where are you this holiday season? I'm talking about your feelings. The holiday season, we all know, can be just so very stressful, but psychologists say it can also benefit your health. Your mental health, that is. A Lending Tree survey found about a third of Americans feel pressured to give gifts, and a quarter say it causes them stress. Holiday parties can also lead to anxiety, but data from the American Psychological Association shows gift giving and gatherings also trigger parts of the brain linked to pressure, social connections, and trust. I love picking out gifts and giving gifts.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love receiving gifts as well. It's just like a whole give and take kind of thing. But it is a stressful time / like joyful, grateful time. But I will say it's very hard for me to live in the moment during these times.
Oh, I bet.
Well, because you're thinking about, okay, what about that party? What about this? Like our holiday party tomorrow for work. Did not even realize that was like coming up.
I know.
And then, you know, just like all these little things. So,
it's a lot.
At the end of the day, you just have to relax, take a deep breath.
And try to enjoy it and make fun, right?
Yes. Just of all the little things. Like you wanted, now with kids, I'm like, we got to do this. But
I bet. Go see Santa. Go to this.
yes.
Go see these lights.
Yes.
I bet it's a lot.
We did go see Santa, and that was.
Did that go over well?
Yes.
Oh,
Remember I
good.
sent you pictures?
Oh, that was from Santa.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't send you the Santa picture.
No,
we took
they
like
look so
pictures
cute.
while we were in line, and they're
really
being
cute.
so funny. I'll share those.
So
with you
Liana
next time.
wasn't scared or anything?
No.
Oh, good.
No.
Good.
And there were like grandparents that were like, oh yeah, our kids didn't want to take their kids. So we were like, Granny and Grandpa are going to go. They're going to be just fine. And the kids were fine.
Aww.
If you take them to a legit Santa,
Yeah.
like not creepy looking Santa,
Yeah.
this Santa was legit. Like
They look so cute. The kids look, oh my gosh. They looked
Thanks.
so cute.
I'll share pictures
Their
next
little
time.
red outfits.
We'll be right back.
Hey, hey.
Hi. Welcome
I love the
back.
tree.
I was
It just makes me happy.
going to say that.
You look so nice.
Me?
The tree and
Oh,
you.
the tree.
They both look nice. It just makes me happy.
It does.
It gives me like a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Like I just, yes, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
Now,
just
do
like,
you plug your tree in your house during the day? I do.
no.
I like just want it plugged in and on all the time.
Yeah, the tree. I would love to do that. It's just I think it's ridiculous. So we have on our roof, we have all the roof lights, right? Like okay, so much so, and it's great because our neighbor does the same. So we are like you know in sync. So much so that when I come home, I cannot turn the garage on without the breaker tripping.
No.
Yes, because we're using so
way.
much electricity.
So do you park outside or
So
what?
I park outside
Oh, shoot.
and I told Daniel.
You know, I wonder if you could get an electrician to rig that up better.
Yeah, well, we're trying. That was Daniel's responsibility. I don't know if he's watching.
Yeah,
but,
that's an
like,
electrical
I
thing.
hope
That is crazy.
Yes, and so, but tonight it's supposed to like freeze or whatever. I'm like, we're definitely turning off the lights and gonna, because I don't even know why we have them on from 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. or 12, whatever you say, p.m. Right?
So that you want them off
12 a.m.
earlier?
Yeah, I mean that's like, that's a 7 hours of these
That's
lights.
what I agree with that time slot. I think that's a good time slot.
I think it's fine if we're like, you know, I don't know how much it costs to have all these lights
Probably
up.
not that much. You
No,
think?
you
I don't
sound like
know.
Daniel, I know. And I'm just being like a Grinch that way, but
That is so fun. Do you have any of those big, like, huge things in your yard? Like any big decorations or like blow up Santas or anything?
so we have 4 Santas.
Oh
they're like
my gosh.
huge giant Santas, and then I got these huge ornaments to put on our actual trees outside.
Oh, fine.
To like put on there. And then, so it's a very like modern, sleek vibe I'm trying to go for. And then Daniel put Olaf.
Oh gosh. How'd that go over?
Well, it's fine. He's like, so you don't like Olaf? I'm like, oh my God, it's totally fine. But Olaf is always on. So he's there.
Olaf can't be put like in the backyard. No.
Nope,
Okay.
he's right at the front door.
Oh boy. Oh
Yes.
man.
Yep.
We're
Anyway.
supposed to be making me a bow for my Christmas tree on the show
Yes.
at some point. So
Yes.
stay tuned for that.
I'm excited about. I should have done that today. Anyway, okay.
we'll
all
do
right,
it.
We're gonna do that.
She
All right.
apparently has ribbon to make it. So
Yes, guys. You guys, if you followed me for years, you know I
She's
love
crafty.
doing that.
I'm not.
Okay. Well, if you're looking to save some money by regifting this holiday season, you are not the only one. There's this new survey from the financial planning website Empower. It reveals nearly 50% of Americans are worried about money this holiday season, which, hey, you're not alone. A lot of people are. So to save on spending, 42% of people plan on regifting items this year.
Oh, my.
More than half say they hope to avoid hosting holiday gatherings due to costs.
okay, holiday gatherings are very expensive.
They are.
This depends on what the heck you're regifting. There better be a tag and it better be unused.
Yes, like it needs to be like a thought out regift. You
Yeah.
know, like somebody else would really like
Typically,
this.
when I regift things, I actually say like, I got this and I really don't want it and I think you would love it, and then I'll like get them something additional because I just feel too guilty.
Oh.
Yeah,
No,
I do.
I if I've regifted, I mean, I don't do it often. I can't even think of the last time I did it, but I don't say that.
I
just
I
make
have
sure it's in good
two
condition.
things that I'm giving my mom and sister because I got them and I really don't want them, but I'm literally going to be like, this is like a
But you tell
regift.
actually I did regift something. I bought it for myself and then I gave it I guess that's not regifting.
Not really regifting.
Here's what happened that I actually shared on the news yesterday, which was an awful regift. My aunt gave me a candle, and it wasn't used. It was great, but she forgot to take the tag that came from the friend that gave it to her.
Shut up. Oh, how embarrassing.
I was so upset because it was given to me and Daniel that I told her. I said, oh, did so-and-so give you this candle? She's like, why? I'm like, well, because the tag was left on it. Right? I mean, I guess that was a really bitch move. But
that's bad on her part, not on your part. So bad. Yeah. What the heck?
Crazy. And one time, this was an awful, my mom, one of my mom's like kind of sort of friends, not really friends. And this is when I was like in elementary school, because I remember my mom making such a big deal about it. Gave her this used bowl.
Why?
I don't know. But it was like dirty.
Ew. What?
Yes. Because we had just gotten our house and it was a housewarming party that we had.
Ew.
And it was a used bowl. Y'all, there was like stains on it.
Why even bring something at that point?
Right?
Yeah. That's crazy.
And so then my mom did confront her about it, like, hey, did you mean to give me this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then I think she like chalked it up to like her daughter accidentally getting the wrong thing, or, right? Like, don't do that though. But regifting I think is okay,
That
right?
is so embarrassing.
Ew. I know.
There's so many like inexpensive, cute things, or you could home make something that costs nothing.
Yes.
Especially if you're crafty like you.
Oh my gosh.
Like, there's so many options.
Yes.
There literally you could go to the dollar store and like find something.
When you have kids, it's really easy because you just have them make something, and then like the grandparents love it. Just frame it, and the grandparents you're done.
Like decorate a little cheap ornament. Yeah. With their picture on it. It's like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Oh yeah.
There's so many options.
Yes. Don't do that though.
So bad.
We'll be right back.
I cannot believe the Eras tour is over. It's over.
I can't believe it either.
I know.
Like, what is she going to do with her time?
You know, she'll have time to date her boyfriend and go to football games.
Oh, gosh. Well, so after wrapping up her record-breaking Eras tour, Taylor Swift made sure to let her fans, fellow performers, and crew know how much she appreciates them.
Wow. She reportedly gave out $197 million in bonuses to her team. That includes truck drivers, band members, dancers, makeup, wardrobe, everyone involved with the tour. Those bonuses account for about 9.4% of the total ticket earnings of the historic tour, which racked up more than $2 billion with a B dollars. The nearly 2-year-long tour ended on Sunday. More than 10 million fans attended the shows across the world.
So what do you think about this?
I'm glad that she treats her staff well. That's more than a lot of artists do. But I think if you she's worth a whole lot of money, so I don't think she necessarily felt, it wasn't like a sacrifice for her to do that, but that's nice, and I'm glad that she did it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that more people who are making a heck of a lot more money than probably the rest to make you successful, because obviously I think that when people recognize that you're not self-made in terms of, you have all these other people helping, it's like when you get all this money, and even though it's 9% or whatever the case may be, she's still giving it.
Yeah, no, it's great. And another thing is, she was none of her shows were late. She always went on time and respected her audience and fans, and so that's more than a lot of artists do as well.
But it's really nice to know, she didn't post about this or anything.
No.
It's the same with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, what he did for everybody in Moana. It was he gives out money there too. Yeah, he does a lot of stuff and that wasn't something he posted on his Instagram. It was just because
people
really
talk
him.
about it. Yeah, no, I think that's great. Good for her for taking care of her people, and for some of those, probably for a lot of those people, those bonuses and stuff are life-changing.
Yes, definitely.
So I'm glad that she did that, because she made a lot of money off that tour.
She sure did.
But if you put it into perspective, if something's $100 for us, that would be 0.2 cents for her. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe 1 cent.
Yeah, because that's how much she's worth and how much she makes.
What do you even do at that?
Well, I think that's, I don't know. I think that that's just why she has her private jet. Isn't, you know, it's not even like, well, I can have this. Like, look, it's more like, well, I'm just gonna have this jet because it's more convenient.
Yes.
And it's not even like costing, like it's not even hurting her bank account.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
I guess you just get to that point.
Like if you were BFFs with her, like she could buy you a jet and it wouldn't.
Yeah. But that would be so weird, like to have a friend that was like
Right,
that
that's-
successful, because again, like to them, like $1,000 dinner or tab would be like, oh my gosh, no,
But-
to me.
You know, you could. I was talking to my uncle about this actually, but it's like that's just one. Taylor Swift on, like the singer is just one aspect of her.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you could relate to her in so many other ways.
Totally. But man, that would be crazy.
The food,
Yeah.
not the food, the money.
The money, yeah.
The money.
I think I would just feel like uncomfortable because I'd be like, I can't split this bill. I don't have $10,000.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'd be like, so you got this one?
Yeah.
I just don't know how you would even be friends with like more regular people.
Like if you're not that regular.
I guess you just have to have a really good sense of who you're hanging out with, and if, you know, that's the crowd that you can do lavish things with.
Yes.
Clearly, like her boyfriend, he's very successful.
Right.
He can afford things, but it's like, I don't know, it's interesting, you know?
I know, it is. But
Because
good for her.
even successful people in comparison to her, like aren't even successful.
It's like Beyonce. Like,
Yeah.
how could you be friends with Beyonce?
Yeah.
Also, I'm just real quick before we wrap up, like, you heard about the Jay-Z thing?
And then they were at the Mufasa premiere, like on the red carpet. Oh my gosh. Awkward. Awkward.
Yeah.
Very awkward. Maybe we'll get into more of that tomorrow or something.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
All right, friends.
Bye, friends.
Thank you.